Right, so indefinite integrals. So this is where you do not know the bounds of the integration. So if you treat it like you're finding an area under the curve, which is what we're going to lead on to tomorrow's lesson, right? We don't actually know the bound where we're taking the area, okay? In other words, for the whole function that we need to find, okay, we're going to have an indefinite part because we don't have any restrictions, any bounds on where we need to integrate. Okay, and the key part of that to look for in the question is when you have the integral symbol but with no numbers on top and bottom. Okay, when you don't see the numbers, it is an indefinite integral. Or the application to a question asking to find an area, etc. Or you were told the initial conditions, so we looked at the primitive function, we found the equation of the curve when given a point. Okay, that would be an example of a definite, indefinite becoming a definite, sorry. But these examples will be all indefinite. Alright, so let's find the integral of x cubed plus 4x take away 8. Now, this notation, dx, is important because that's what you're integrating with respect to the variable x. Okay, so most times this is what you will be integrating and differentiating. Alright, but when we look at applications of calculus to the physical world, alright, we're going to have other variables to be looking at, and we'll cover that when we get there. Alright, so what is the primitive function of first things first? We can integrate each separately because of the plus and minus signs in between. So what is the integral of x cubed? Okay, so we add 1 to the power, divide by any power, alright, and any constant out the front as well. Alright, so in other words, alright, so we've got 4x, we rewrite the function, the differential term, we add 1 to the power, so this is the power of 1, so we add 1, and we divide by our new power, alright? We should not keep getting these wrong. Take away 8, and constant number, we just put an x after it. And what else do I need to add to that?
Charlie.
Charlie. Don't forget to include him. Alright, so x4, remember you are expected to simplify a fraction down to simplest form unless told otherwise. Okay, and then depending on the marking scale for a particular question, whether you're going to get penalised for not having things simplified. Okay, so avoid yourself that trouble. Alright, always simplify fractions to simplest form. Alright, B. Alright, the integral of the square root of x dx. Alright, so thinking about what we need to do.
X to the
Power of a half.
yeah.
Alright, so we change the square root to using our index laws that we covered way back in term 1. Okay, and we know how to integrate when we have a power, so we convert any surds to powers. Alright, you've got to be very careful about fractional powers. Alright, so half plus 1, I'd recommend you leave it as improper. Okay, so that becomes 3 over 2. Okay, divide by your new power. Okay, and don't forget Charlie. Right, when you are dividing by a fraction, we do what? Multiply by the reciprocal. And the question gave to you in a surd form. Alright, so that means your answer also needs to be in surd form. So, don't forget the numerator stays with the base, so f, and the denominator becomes the root power. So, equals, so numerator is 3, that stays with the base, and the denominator is 2, and by default, it is the square root. And then we divide by the fraction, we are dividing by a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal, or in other words, I just flip it, it becomes 2 over 3. Okay, so the fraction's 3 over 2, so I can use my mathematical understanding to just have to flip it. Okay, so in your assessment, if you do not include that constant of integration, there is a reasonably good chance you will not get your full marks when you have a indefinite integral. And often these questions can be worth 1 mark, so if you don't show that plus C, you don't get your marks. Alright? So make sure you include it. If it's 2, you will probably more likely to lose your mark, 1 mark, because you're not including your understanding of an indefinite integral with a function. C. So dx over x to the power of 6. Good, okay. So just to make sure everyone understands that, is the integral of 1 over x to the power of 6 multiplied by dx. Alright? So what do I need to manipulate so I can integrate?
X to the negative 6.
Okay, x to the power of negative 6. And we want to integrate that. Okay, so add 1 to your power. Be x to the minus 5. Don't write minus 7. Because that's differentiating. Over in your power. Include Charlie to your integration party there. And then you need to rewrite your answer to match the format of the question. Alright, so it becomes a minus 1 over 5 x to the power of 5 plus Charlie. Now to check your answer, what would you do? Pardon? Divide. Differentiate. Right, so differentiate this. Divide and differentiate, 2 different things. This is happening a lot lately. Okay, so you can check that by differentiation. You can set it up using your negative power again, or you can use the quotient rule, because technically that is the quotient. Okay, you can remember all these formats and how to differentiate as well to be able to go back the other way and integrate. Alright, so if you are under assessment or you're checking your homework or whatever, you can differentiate what you just integrated, you should get the same thing what's happening here, isn't it? Okay, that's something that you can keep in mind. D. Alright, x cubed plus 2x squared plus 3 all over x squared dx.
They're not.
It's like, it's like 7 inches.
No, it's
Settle
like,
down.
like,
They're comparing each other's attention span.
no.
Thanks for that.
You say 9?
You do.
If it was 9, it would be like this.
They're talking about widths of the width of a man's skateboard.
It's like 7 inches. It's really small.
You know, if you're not careful, we'll find the area of the skateboard using the integration.
That would be quite cool. Can we do that?
Alright, before we get to there, we need to be able to do the basic skills. So, what do I do here?
Use the
That's a perfect square, isn't it?
Is it?
No, never mind.
Yeah.
use f of x, g of x. It's something to do with the quotient rule, but
Yeah, but I don't need to.
the opposite.
What else? If the integral symbol wasn't there, what would you be doing?
Cancelling out. No,
You can't.
you can't. I'm not going to do that.
Ah.
Times by the highest power.
We're not taking limit, Robin.
And then
Okay.
substitute x squared equals 0.
Cancel them out
Equals
now.
infinity.
Yeah, you can cancel out. Okay, so each of those terms on top is divided by the term on the bottom because I'm just using my understanding of maths. So integral of x plus 2 plus, I'm going to write it as a negative straight away. Alright, so now I can integrate, sorry. You can't just do the reverse process of the quotient rule and expect to get the same answer. Okay?
I've drawn some really bad signs.
I'll be looking forward to your assessment because I'll get to see how good your signs are. I'm very much looking forward to that. For seeing what you do for your symbols.
Losers are marked for crappy symbols.
Is that a 1?
Just like crappy symbol.
Okay, so
Look
what's the...
second one, look at your second
Yeah, I
one,
know.
Jay.
I know. Not very consistent at the moment. It's been a while since
Your
we've done
first
it.
one looks not really nice.
I know. They're changing from red to green did the problem.
Yes.
Maybe.
I
Anyway,
can't wait for Christmas.
anyway, it won't be very long till we're very good at it. Okay, what's the integral of x?
It's been so long since last Christmas.
X squared to over 2.
X squared over 2. What's the integral of 2?
2x.
What's the integral of 3x to the negative 2?
Negative 1 over 3x.
Alright, 3x. Remember, add 1 to the power. Going to the right one from negative 2 on the number line. Divide by new power. And Charlie
What are you
needs to be there.
Charlie?
You don't want to forget him. There will be consequences if you forget him. Alright, x squared, make sure we are writing it back in the format of the question. That means I need to change that last term to match what I need. So it'll become a negative 3 over x.
Oh, can somebody else.
Silly me.
Alright, so you need to make sure you write your answer to match the format of the question. Questions?